Hello students, let's have the numericals of the chapter 12 electromagnetic induction. Now let's see the important formulas of the chapter electromagnetic induction that will be used here to solve the numericals. As per the Faraday's laws of electromagnetic induction, we come to know that whenever there is a change in the magnetic flux associated with a coil, an EMF is induced in the coil. And as per the second law, the magnitude of induced EMF is directly proportional to the rate of change of magnetic flux through the coil there. Hence, here the magnitude of the induced EMF is to be given as magnitude of E is directly proportional to the rate of change of magnetic flux to the coil. So it is to be given as d phi by dt, and this is valid for one turn of the wire there. When there are n number of turns are there in a coil, then magnitude of induced EMF is to be given as n into d phi by dt. Then the magnetic flux is to be given as a scalar product of B and A. So it is to be given as phi is equal to BA cos theta, where theta is the angle between area and the direction of the magnetic field of induction. After that, we had seen the EMF induced in a circuit whose parts move in a fixed magnetic field, which is to be given as A is equal to BLV, where B is the uniform magnetic induction, L is the length of the conductor, and V is the velocity with which the conductor is to be moved in this magnetic field of induction. Then we had seen EMF induced in a rotating rod also, which is to be given as E is equal to half B omega L square, where B is the uniform magnetic induction, L is the length of the conductor, and omega is the angular velocity of the rotating rod in a magnetic field of induction. We had also determined the rate of mechanical work done in pulling a loop through a magnetic field, which is to be given as P is equal to V square L square V upon R, where B is the uniform magnetic induction, L is the length of the conductor or a loop, V is the velocity of the loop or a conductor with which it is moving in a uniform magnetic induction, and R is the collective resistance of the loop or a conductor. Then we have studied about the self-inductance, the production of induced EMF in the circuit or a coil itself on account of a change in current in it is termed as the phenomenon of self-inductance. And here we come to know that the magnetic flux linked with the circuit or a coil itself B phi, which is directly proportional to the current in it, that is I. So here we can say that as phi is directly proportional to I, so phi is equal to Li, where this L is the constant of proportionality and is termed as self-inductance or coefficient of self-induction of the coil. Then by using the same phenomenon, the EMF induced in a coil or a circuit, the self-induced EMF is given as per the Faraday's law is equal to minus L di upon dt. As EMF induced is to be given as minus d phi by dt as per the Faraday's law, the value of phi we are getting as Li, Hence it is to be taken as L is constant, I is to be changed with respect to time there. So E is equals to minus L di upon dt there. Where negative sign indicates that the induced current or induced EMF tries to oppose the change or the cause which produced it. After that, we have determined inductance per unit length near the middle of a long solenoid, which is to be given as capital L upon L is equal to nu 0 n square in bracket pi d square upon 4. Here, d is the diameter of solenoid there and n is the number per unit length, and capital L upon L is said to be a inductance per unit length there. Then we had seen the concept of mutual inductance. As mutual inductance is the interaction of one coil's magnetic field on another coil as it induces a voltage in the adjacent coil there. When the EMF is induced into an adjacent coil situated within the same magnetic field, the EMF is said to be induced magnetically, inductively, or by mutual induction. The symbol is given as capital M. Then, when two or more coils are magnetically linked together by a common magnetic flux, they are said to have a property of mutual inductance. And hence, here we can write the magnetic flux linked with the coils is directly proportional to current I in it, and that's why we can write it as phi is equal to Mi, where M is said to be the coefficient of the mutual inductance. And the mutually induced EMF E is to be given as per the Faraday's law minus M di upon dt. Next, the turn per unit length we are considering as small n, which is to be given as capital N upon L, where capital N is the total turns of the wire there. Next, we had seen coefficient of coupling K, which is a measure of the portion of flux that reaches coil 2, which is in the vicinity of coil 1. Greater the coefficient of coupling means greater will be the mutual inductance. The two coil 1 and 2 with self-inductance L1 and L2 is coupled with mutual inductance and is given as K is equal to M upon square root L1 into L2. After that, we had seen transformer, which is an electrical device that converts low alternating voltage at high current to high alternating voltage at low current and vice versa. And it is based on the principle of mutual induction, that is, whenever the magnetic flux linked with the coil changes, an EMF is induced in the neighboring coil. Then the induced EMF in the secondary coil is to be given as ES. ES represents induced EMF in the secondary coil is equals to NS into d phi upon dt, where NS is the number of turns of the secondary coil there. And the induced EMF in a primary coil is to be represented as EP, and it is to be given as EP is equal to minus NP into d phi by dt, where NP represents number of turns in the primary coil. Then there is a relation between voltage and current in the transformer, which is to be given as ES upon EP is equal to NS upon NP, as well as ES upon EP is equal to IP upon IS. As ES and EP is the EMF induced in the secondary and primary coil, NS and NP is the number of turns in the secondary and primary coil, IP and IS is the current in primary and secondary coil there. Hence, we can write ES upon EP is equal to NS upon NP is equal to IP upon IS. So, these are the important formulas for the chapter electromagnetic induction that will be used to solve the numericals. Now, let's have the unsolved numerical from the textbook. Question number 11 is: calculate the value of induced EMF between the ends of an axle of a railway carriage 1.75 meter long, traveling on level ground with a uniform velocity of 50 km per hour. The vertical component of Earth's magnetic field BV is given to be 5 into 10 raised to minus 5 Tesla. Here we have to calculate the value of the induced EMF between the ends of an axle of the railway carriage whose length is given as 1.75 meter, and it is to be traveling on the level ground with a uniform velocity of 50 km per hour. So, here the velocity which is given in kilometer per hour must be converting in meter per second, and also it is given that the vertical component of Earth's magnetic field is 5 into 10 raised to minus 5 Tesla. Let us see the solution. As it is given, length L is 1.75 meter, BV is given as 5 into 10 raised to minus 5 Tesla, velocity is given 50 km per hour. This kilometer per hour we have to convert it into meter per second. As kilometer is 1000 meter and R over here we have to multiply with 60 into 60, that is 3600. So, over there when we are converting 50 km per hour into meter per second, so that 50 must be multiplied with 1000 upon 3600. The ratio of 1000 upon 3600 comes to us 5 upon 18. So, whenever the velocity is given in kilometer per hour that and we have to convert it into meter per second, so directly we are supposed to multiply with 5 upon 18. So, the velocity over here we are getting 50 into 5 upon 18 meter per second. Then we have to find out the induced EMF there. Formula we are going to use, E is equal to BLV. Let's substitute the values, as B is 5 into 10 raised to minus 5, L is 1.75 and velocity is 50 into 5 upon 18. When we are solving this multiplication, so we are getting the value 1 to 1.53 into 10 raised to minus 5 volt, and hence finally we can write it as 1.22 millivolt there. And the final answer we can write the induced EMF is 1.22 millivolt. The next unsolved numerical from the textbook. Question number 12 is: the value of mutual inductance of two coils is 10 millihenry. If the current in one of the coil changes from 5 ampere to 1 ampere in 0.2 second, calculate the value of EMF induced in the other coil. Also, calculate the value of induced charge passing through the coil if its resistance is 5 ohm. Here it is given that the two coil have the mutual inductance 10 millihenry, and when in one of the coil the current changes from 5 ampere to 1 ampere in 0.2 second, then we have to calculate how much EMF is induced in the other coil there. As well as we have to calculate the value of the induced charge that must be passing through the coil if the resistance of the coil is 5 ohm. Let's see the solution. As mutual inductance is given 10 millihenry, that must be converting into Henry by multiplying 10 raised to minus 3. So, the mutual inductance become 10 into 10 raised to minus 3 Henry. as the current is changes from 5 to 1 ampere. So initial current is given 5 ampere and final current is given 1 ampere in time interval 0.2 second. And also the value of resistance is given 5 ohm. And we have to find out first of all how much EMF is induced in other coil and what will be the value of the induced charge in a coil for the given resistance. The formula we are going to use, delta phi is equal to m into delta I. Second formula will be used here, E is equal to magnitude of delta phi upon delta t. And third one, to determine the induced charge in a coil, we have to use the formula delta Q, which is equal to E upon R into delta T. And this E into delta T is to be written as delta phi. So delta Q will be is equal to delta phi upon R there. As charge is nothing but the product of current and time, the current is nothing but the ratio of the EMF upon resistance. So here it is to be written as E upon R. And product of E into delta phi, delta T is nothing but the delta phi. So charge can be written as delta phi upon R there. So first of all, by using the first formula, delta phi is equal to m into delta I. Here we can determine the value of the change in flux for the current when it will be changes from 5 to 1 ampere. As change in current 5 to 1, over here we are getting the value 1 minus 5 as the change in current, the final current minus initial current. So here 1 minus 5 we are getting as minus 4 there. And 10 into 10 raised to minus 3 gives the value 10 raised to minus 2. So the change in flux when the current changes from 5 ampere to 1 ampere in 0.2 second, we are getting the value as minus 4 into 10 raised to minus 2 Weber. Then by using the second formula, we have to determine the EMF induced in the other coil when this much change in flux will be takes place. So here the magnitude of the EMF induced, we are getting the mod sign modulus of delta phi upon delta t. So the modulus of minus 4 into 10 raised to minus 2 upon 0.2. When we are calculating it, so here we are getting the positive value only. So EMF induced in the other coil when the current is changes from 5 to 1 ampere in 0.2 second, the value of induced EMF we are getting as 0.2 volt. Then next we have to find the charge induced in a coil of resistance 5 ohm when we are going to use the formula delta Q is equal to delta phi upon R. Now let's substitute the value in this formula. As delta phi, the magnitude of delta phi is 4 into 10 raised to minus 2 Weber. So here write down the value of the delta phi, its magnitude only 4 into 10 raised to minus 2 upon R is given 5 ohm there. When we are substituting this value delta phi upon R as 4 into 10 raised to minus 2 upon 5, we are getting the value in 8 into 10 raised to minus 3 and it is to be written as 8 millicoulomb. That means the value of the induced charge we are getting as 8 millicoulomb. And finally we can write down our answer as the EMF induced in other coil when the current changes from 5 ampere to 1 ampere in 0.2 second is 0.2 volt and the induced charge in a coil of resistance 5 ohm is 8 millicoulomb. Next unsolved numerical from the textbook question number 13 is an EMF of 96.0 millivolt is induced in the windings of a coil when the current in a nearby coil is increasing at the rate of 1.20 ampere per second. What is the mutual inductance M of the two coils? Here it is given that the EMF which is to be induced in a winding of a coil is given 96.0 millivolt, and for inducing this much EMF the current in a nearby coil is to be increasing at the rate of the 1.20 ampere per second. And we have to determine what will be the value of the mutual inductance of the two coils there. Let's see the solution. As it is given, EMF induced in a windings of the coil is 96.0 millivolt, hence 96 millivolt, and it is to be converting in volt by multiplying 10 raised to minus 3. So the value of E here we can write as 96 into 10 raised to minus 3 volt. Then for producing this much EMF, the current is to be increasing at the rate of 1.20 ampere per second. That means the value of di upon dt is given 1.20 ampere per second. And we have to find out the value of the mutual inductance of the two coils. The formula we are going to use is mutual inductance M is the ratio of magnitude of EMF induced to the magnitude of the rate of increasing the current there. Let's substitute the value by using this formula, which is E upon di upon dt. The value of E is given as 96 into 10 raised to minus 3 and value of di upon dt is given as 1.20. After the substitution, we have to solve this ratio and we are getting the value of M as 80 into 10 raised to minus 3. This 10 raised to minus 3 here we are converting, we can write it as millihenry, and hence the value of the mutual inductance is 80 millihenry. And finally, we can write our answer, the mutual inductance of the two coils is 80 millihenry. The next unsolved numerical from the textbook, question number 14 is, a long solenoid of length L, cross-sectional area A, and having N1 turns, that is primary coil, has a small coil of N2 turns, secondary coil, wound about its center. Determine the mutual inductance M of the two coils. Here it is given that the long solenoid is to be taken of length L, whose cross-sectional area is A, and it is having N1 turns of the coil, which is said to be a primary coil, and also it has a small coil N2 turns, which is said to be a secondary coil, which is to be wound about its center, and we have to determine the mutual inductance of these two coils. Let's see the solution. As due to the current I is to be flowing in a coil there, so due to the current I, there is a magnetic field in a coil 1, and hence the magnetic field B1 is to be given as nu 0 N1 I1, where N1 is nothing but the number of turns per unit length, and hence it is to be written as N1 upon L. So value of B1 we are getting as nu 0 N1 I1 upon L there. Then due to this field, a flux is to be linkage in a coil 2, and hence the value of phi 2 we are writing as N2 B1 into A. The flux is to be linkage in a coil 2, that's why the number of turns in the secondary coil we are considering, and this flux is to be linkage in this coil 2 due to the field B1. That's why the value of phi 2 is to be written as N2 B1A. The value of B1 we are having nu 0 N1 I1 upon L, so substitute the value here of B1, and phi 2 is coming over here as N2 into nu 0 N1 I1 upon L into A. Now here we can write it as nu 0 N1 into N2 into A upon L into I1. Here we are just rearranging the factors there, where the value nu 0 N1 N2 A upon L is said to be the mutual inductance of the two coils there. So phi 2 becomes M1 into I1, and hence finally we can write that the mutual inductance of the two coil M is nothing but nu 0 N1 N2 A upon L. and hence finally we can write the answer as the mutual inductance M of the two coils is nu 0 N1 N2 A upon L. The remaining numericals we will solve next time in the next lecture. Thank you.